Hi, everybody. It's Julie. Welcome to Hello Monday. Well, I couldn't help it. I got another hack for you, Valentine's, using everyday supplies. I know, right? But I thought it was such a cute and fun idea. I couldn't help it. So now I'm going to take a quarter sheet of Nina Stoller White and I'm going to use my ruler to mark off in 1 inch increments from the right hand side. And then I'm going to rotate my ruler, and then on the left hand side, I'm going to mark 1 inch increments starting at the top. Now you can make these as close together or as far apart as you want. It doesn't matter. But I'm going to use those pencil marks, and then the right hand lower corner of this panel is going to be my pivot point for making these debossed lines. I'm going to use a little scoreboard here, and I'm just going to line up that lower right corner and the pencil mark that I made along the same scoring line and use my scoring tool there to create these really cool sun rays. Now, if you have a die that does this, perfect. I don't, and so in order to get this effect, I'm going to have to DIY it. So I'm just flipping my paper around and following that pivot point and just rotating the pencil marks to keep getting those sun rays. And they're all starting over there in the right hand. It will be the right hand lower corner. And then the rays will move upward to the left. There you can see what I'm going for, right? Okay, so now I could erase the pencil lines, but what I'm going to do instead is take it to my paper trimmer and I'm going to cut 1/4 inch off the top edge of that panel, and then I'll flip it to the side and cut what's the left-hand side, also 1/4 inch. And then I'll have a nice 1/8 inch border all the way around as a matte layer when I mount this to my standard A2 base card. And standard A2 card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. Now, to work on my focal image, I've already die cut all the feels 3 times, twice from some pale pink cardstock and once from some of this Poppy Red by Concord and Ninth. Now I'm going to apply glue all over the back side of this because I find this is the easiest way to get that glued on. And that chipboard is covered with press and seal with the sticky side out, and it just works really well for holding things like this in place, so I don't have to use my finger and get glue all over my hands because I hate that. So I've glued this red layer to the pink layer, and that's only because I wanted to have just a little bit of extra heft and dimension. Not a lot, but just a little. And then I'm going to take that third die cut that's left, the one in pink, and again I'm going to add some adhesive wet glue to the back of that, and then go ahead and get that mounted to my base card. Now this is going to become what we call a drop shadow, which is kind of super popular with those retro typography designs, and so I'm just recreating that effect. Now you don't have to use pink, you can use any colors you want, but I liked this for Valentine's Day, so I thought the red and the pink together would look really nice. So now I'm going to lay that top piece over the top, but I'm going to offset it slightly up and to the left, just slightly, to allow that drop shadow that's underneath to peek through. And it's hard to see here on video camera, but in real life, you get a much better visual effect. And then I'm just going to use my bone folder here to just kind of burnish everything down, make sure all the glue reaches to all the edges. And then I decided I wanted to accent this with the little hands with the heart from the Love Note set. So I'm just going to use some poppy ink and stamp that onto a scrap of light pink cardstock that I had. And I tried it first with a coral color, but I didn't like it. I decided, no, I need to stick with the poppy red, and that will look really great. And then I don't have to color this image. So I'm just going to take the matching die, and there's a tiny die that cuts out the heart in between the hands, and I just mounted them together with tape to hold them in place, and then ran the whole thing through my die cutting machine. And then I'm just going to put some pop dots on the back of that and go ahead and pop that up, and it just makes a really nice accent to this image. And I thought this was such a fun way to do a Valentine. And of course, if you're doing this for a guy, maybe you don't want to do pink and red, maybe you want to go with a different color scheme, but I still think it's fun for Valentine's Day. And then you can write your lovey-dovey message on the inside. But I love how those groovy sun rays turned out. It's subtle but super effective. Hope that inspires you, and thanks for watching.